Pasternak. Now it's 61 goals. In his last 83 games as his one-timer finds the back of the net. Through center and on the goal. Metzger has it in neutral towards the empty cage. He scores again. Alex Ovechkin one closer to 800. Who's the draw now? It's a 3-on-2 for the Stars. Lindell carries up the draw. Landry, and they score! Glendening went to the net, redirects it. A short-handed goal makes it 4-1 Dallas. That will not make the coach happy.
What the puck is going on?
This is what the puck is going on for February the 14th, Valentine's Day, 2023. Broadcasting from the beautiful shorelines of Virginia Beach, Virginia, the United States of America. All right, the big slate of games tonight. We're going to get right to it. And we're going to go over the injury list for today's NHL hockey teams. See who's been added on here. Another list. I feel like every day this list is getting longer. Arizona puts Liam O'Brien on this injured list day to day. Chicago is going to miss a couple players here for a few games. Columbus continues to be banged up. Chinakhov and Gurikov, both those players, Eastern Europeans, out for Columbus. Colorado has Darren Helm. He's now going to be out for about a week or two. Eric Johnson is well going to be out for Colorado just for a game or two. Let's see. Killer Yamamoto for Edmonton is out for a couple days. Also, Marcus Foligno for Minnesota is going to be out. Montreal continues to add the players to their injury list. Jack Hughes, we talked about him. He's been updated still to be out for at least a couple more games. Let's see. Any other players of note? Ruda and Tristan Yari for the Penguins, both out. Should be back anytime, but listed as out for now. San Jose has James Reimer and Vojtov. All right, both of those players are out. Big one for the Caps. Alex Ovechkin is going to be out. He'll miss about a week. And now day-to-day is Nick Dodd and Tom Wilson. Also, Connor Hellebuck is sick, so he will not be in goal tonight for the game against Seattle. And also they'll lose Gustafsson for Winnipeg. Good thing I'm looking at those injuries because the Jets were a play that I was going to definitely look at this evening against Seattle, but we'll go ahead and pass on that. Let's see here. All right, so let's get the odds up for the games. One programming note, Inquisition Unknown. We've been trying to get that aired here for last Tuesdays or last one or two Tuesdays. We have George Norrie actually interviewed, but we will get that rolling next Tuesday night. We want to make sure we have a very pristine production for that, and I'm not quite ready on the production end, and you can blame that completely on me. But season 1, episode 1, much anticipated Inquisition Unknown with George Norrie will air next Tuesday. So every Tuesday now. So we'll be up to speed. Or a great interview with him, actually. So that was a lot of fun. So take note of that. The soccer paycheck will return Friday, 4:20. It's your starting time for the paycheck Friday afternoon. And, of course, this show continues on at 6 p.m. every weeknight, Monday through Thursday. Okay, let's get to the games. All right, first one on the slate. We have the Blackhawks and the Canadiens. Chicago is at Montreal, 7 o'clock. Chicago is a slight underdog at plus 118. The Canadiens are minus 144. Over-under is 6.5. If we look at the injuries for the teams here, we're going to see that Montreal is going to be a very banged-up team for sure. Chicago, not so much. They have a couple players out, key players too, but they will be much healthier than this Montreal side, who right now has 10 players on the injured list. Most of those guys slated to come back at some point here in February, and then about half of them should be back this month. short term. The other half are longer term injuries for Montreal. So they continue to be banged up. And Chicago, that's just not a team you want to bet on the road with, is it? Let's see here. If we go to the standings with these teams, Chicago right now, bottom of their division, which is the Central, minus 61 goal differential. They've given up 186. They can't score. They've only scored 125. Somehow 5-4-1 in their last 10. But how do you bet Montreal? Last place in their division with a minus 50 goal differential, yielding 194 goals and scoring 144. So this is a battle of like teams here, and you have a healthier one in Chicago. So maybe that's worth the price. But I think that's going to have to be a pass for anything that I would want to do. You can't take a bad team against a bad team. That's for sure. All right, so the Capitals are banged up, and the line reflects it. They host the Hurricanes at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Hurricanes are minus 180 favorites. The Capitals on the comeback is somewhere between 145 and 150. But like we said, no Alex Ovechkin, no Tom Wilson, no Nicholas Dowd. Anyone else for the Capitals listed? We're used to seeing all kinds of Washington Capitals on the injury report. Carl Hagelin is still out. John Carlson still out. Connor Brown still out. So the Capitals facing a Carolina team who's been pretty much red hot here. And let's see, Carolina, just a few players hurt. Max Pacioretty is the key note player there. And these are all longer-term injuries for Carolina they've had. So they've had these players hurt for some time. Andre Case, February 9th, a concussion. So just about a week ago for his injury. They'll keep him out about a month. So Carolina has been red hot. We've talked about that. This is two teams in the Metro here. Carolina first place with plus 33 goal differential. The Caps sitting right there in fourth place with a plus 12, and they trail the Canes by 14 points. So this is a game really that if the Caps had any hopes of winning this division, that they're going to have to win here at home on a Valentine's night against the Carolina Hurricanes. I think that's a tough task. Carolina 8-1-1 in their last 10, although they did lose their last time out, and the Capitals playing 500 hockey in their last 10. So it would be Carolina or bust for me. As a Caps fan, I can't do that. In fact, I think I would look at Carolina to win in regulation, though, if I was playing this. I don't think I can take goals for either of these teams. Let's see what we're getting paid out on the goal line for the Capitals. They might be 2.5. Yeah, over 2.5 goals at minus 102 for the Caps. They could still probably get that. Still missing a lot of the key players, though. But maybe they can rally it up here and get to 3 goals. Carolina's over 3.5 at plus 130. I'd be tempted to take both of those, to be honest. And I don't think I'd look at too much of any other angle. 60-minute money line for Carolina is a straight-up bet at minus 104 as well. Tough game for the Caps at home with the injuries, but for a cheap number to get over 2.5 goals, I could see that happening. Ottawa Senators at the Islanders. That is a 7:30 game in Long Island in Nassau. Minus 210 for the Islanders, plus 175, 170, somewhere in that range. Come back for the Ottawa Senators. Nephew Dave's been on the Senators a little bit. Let's see here. Injury-wise with the Islanders, they're looking okay. Cal Clutterbuck continues to be hurt. He'll be out the rest of the month. And Wallstrom continues to be the only other lone injury for what will be a relatively healthy team there for the Islanders. As far as Ottawa goes, Ottawa injuries are pretty decent. Anton Forsberg, we talked about him earlier in the week. He's out. Jake Sanderson out. Cam Talbot out. All short-term injuries. Nick Holden out. Forsberg should be a little bit longer. He's facing 2 months here before he's expected back. Josh Norris has been a long-term injury all season. So the Islanders are the healthier team, but Ottawa is not exactly too banged up here. And if we look at the line for the Islanders, or let's look at the goal differential. How about that? The Islanders are 6th in their division and a +7, still in 6th place in the Metro. So a good, strong division in the Metro in the East. +162 on their goals scored. They've given up -155, so that gives the +7 on the point differential. Ottawa is 7th place in their standings, but only a -10 point differential, 25, 24, and 3. So they still are over 500 in regulation. So another good division there with the Atlantic. The East really is strong. Scoring 158 goals, giving up 168. I guess I give the edge to the Islanders at home here. The Senators, they're coming. Let me just make sure I got here we go. Senators coming off a big win last night against the Flames. They were down by 2 goals late, about 4 minutes left to play, and rallied to face overtime, and they get the victory over Calgary there. The Islanders, they've been off. Let's see. Did they play Sunday? Nope. They played Saturday, that's for sure, because I think we had them against Montreal. The Islanders, at the Canadians with the loss in overtime, 4-3 on Monday or on Saturday. So well rested are the Islanders. I'd have to give them the edge just in that regard today. So if you want to look for a cheap number on the New York Islanders at home, then you're looking at something like, let's see, a 60-minute regulation line for the New York Islanders is -140. That's not too bad. -1.5 is +122. So maybe that could actually get home as well. I got Nephew Dave's picks, so I'll go ahead and review those once we get towards the end of the show. But Ottawa just coming off a nice win last night and tired. Can they rally and stay strong to give back-to-back really good efforts out against their opponents? We'll see. Tough physical team with the Islanders. I think at the end of the day, that's just going to be a pass for me. The Devils are at the Blue Jackets. This is a 7:30 face-off, -220 for New Jersey, over under 6.5. The 60-minute line here is something I would look at for the Devils at just -138. I think that's a good cheap number. So maybe take that. And then let's see here. Injuries. Let's get those squared away for New Jersey. You want to make sure they're healthy. I like that play, actually. Jack Hughes is out. Brendan Smith out. And then Jonathan Bernier. All of these injuries are recent. All 3 expected to be back sooner than later. So good news in that regard for New Jersey Devils. Let's see. Columbus is going to be banged up continuously here. So they have 8 players on the injured list. I think we put them in the penalty box. We'll keep them in the penalty box. How about that? Columbus Blue Jackets going to the penalty box just for their injuries alone.
Come on. You can't do that. Dallas Philly number 10, 2
The penalty box is just simply we'll find a team and we'll try to pick on them a little bit and try to get some capital with them being down. So New Jersey looks like a good bet to me. So we'll take a look at that. The Devils trying to get back into first place. They trail Carolina by 3 points, a +42 goal differential on the year. They've given up 181. They scored 181, only given up 139. Columbus has given up 139 and has only scored 135 and has given up 204. So seesaw stats, very tilted in favor of New Jersey in this matchup. So I like that play. I think the Devils on the 60-minute line is a strong bet. I'll see if I can get Nephew Dave to agree to that. The Florida Panthers are in St. Louis to face the Blues. The Panthers are minus 132 on the 60-minute line. This is another game I would take a look at with Florida here, although they're coming off themselves. Let's see. Let's get the scoreboard from last night. Yeah, the Panthers are coming off a 2-1 shootout victory at Minnesota in what was a real good physical game. So that's going to give you a discounted price, I think, tonight in terms of that. I think you can get back-to-back good efforts out of Florida as they're a team that is trying to surge up in the standings. Fourth place in the Atlantic with just 60 points, nothing guaranteed as far as playoffs. So these points are very important in terms of trying to beat out Washington, Pittsburgh, and the Islanders for a playoff spot. Two of those teams, with Florida included, will be left out. And you also have Buffalo and Detroit knocking on the door of all four of those teams as well. So Florida, just 12-15-3 on the road. St. Louis, the Blues, are just 11-12-2 at home with a minus 28 goal differential. They've given up 190 goals on the year. Florida can score. They've scored 194. They may give some goals up to the Blues as well. As far as the injuries go, we'll peek at those real quick. Injuries always important. See where these teams are. I think Florida's relatively good shape. Yeah, 2 injuries only for Florida, and St. Louis, only a couple injuries for St. Louis. So injuries not really a factor in terms of this game. I think you could take both teams with total over goals too, I think. Florida's over 3.5 at plus 108. That doesn't look too bad. And over 3.5 at plus 130 is for St. Louis as well. So I think good opportunity there with the team total goals over, or even Florida. Florida on the 60-minute money line, no push, is a plus 124. So not too bad there. Okay. The Kraken and the Jets. This is a game I was looking at with the Jets, but the injuries scare me against the Kraken team, who could use a good win here after the All-Star break. Minus 130 for the Jets, plus 110 for the Kraken. The total is 6. Connor Hellebuck not in goal for the Kraken. Philip Grubauer is listed as the goalie for Seattle. No goalie listed for Winnipeg. Plus 172, minus 1.5 are the Jets. This is going to have to be a pass, I think, for me. I was looking to play Winnipeg, but it's just too scary with no Hellebuck in there. Another couple injuries of note as well. And Seattle, who's kind of a wounded animal in terms of needing a good win, may come out extra scrappy tonight. The 60-minute line, the Kraken pay plus 180. The Jets pay plus 114. And this could be a lower scoring game too. So I'm not even so sure I'd be interested in the team total overs. Seattle may be over 2.5, minus 136. I could see that. Over 3.5 for the Jets is plus 1. This is a great game. The Stars are hosting the Bruins, 8:30 face-off here with Dallas and Boston. Boston, a slight road favorite, if you call minus 125 slight. Over-under is 5.5 for this 8:30 face-off. The 60-minute line, you're not often now you're going to get Boston at a plus price. They're plus 134. Dallas is plus 158. You're going to get big payoffs on the win margins. If you think one of these teams can make a statement, plus 390 for the Bruins to win by 3 or more. The Stars to win by 3 or more is plus 480. If we have 60-minute total goals, over 2.5 for Boston is minus 140. Over 2.5 for Dallas is minus 122. So they're expecting a lower scoring game here. I'm not so sure. You might actually get a shootout between these two. Boston having their worst little stint of the season here, looking for a good win. But Dallas is a strong team. And I think at some point on this show, I had a prop bet that I was looking at for the Bruins and the Stars that I never posted. But I could see that being your Stanley Cup Finals matchup. So a good game with Boston and Dallas. I would be hesitant to take either one, but I think over 2.5 goals just on either side is something I'm going to have to get involved with later on. 2 more games to go, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Another great game. Lightning, very solid slate today. Lightning at Avalanche. Lightning are minus 125. The over-under is 6. Let's see here. Vasilevsky and Tampa Bay are rested. And Georgiev is going to be the goalie for the Colorado Avalanche. Injury-wise, real quick. Let's hit the standings real quick on this one. Tampa Bay, 6-3-1 in their last 10. They've scored 187 goals. They have a plus 34. Colorado is only a plus 14. They've only scored 157, but 7-2-1 in their last 10. Good matchup here, although Colorado seems to be playing their best hockey of the season. Banged up most of the year. And if we look at the injuries for Colorado, I think they're going to be fairly banged up still. Yeah, they have half a dozen players still hurt, and they are key players as well. So that doesn't make me want to take them against a good Tampa team. Tampa comes on with no one on the injury list. So they are the healthier team. Maybe that gives them the advantage. After the Lightning sputtered out of the gate of the All-Star break, they've now won 2 in a row. So maybe ride that. If we look at team prop total goals, then let's see here. Pulling those up. Colorado's 60-minute goals over 2.5 is minus 132. Over 2.5 for the Lightning, minus 158. I guess I could trust the Lightning at a minus 158 to get to 3 goals. So that would be the bet here. I think that'd be the safe one. Just try to get Lightning to get to 3 goals, minus 158. They're a huge, just being a road, not a huge, but just being a road favorite is kind of surprising here. That's where the Avalanche have come. And right now in the standings, if the playoffs were to start today, although Colorado has a few games in hand, they would be out of the playoffs with the points, although the odds don't say that. 10:30, Pittsburgh is in San Jose. The Penguins minus 164. San Jose plus 136, over under 6.5. This could be an over game, I think. That's something that I would look at. Pittsburgh played well on the road the other night. They are 5-2-3 in their last 10. They did lose their last time out. They've scored 169 while giving up 163 goals. San Jose, let's see here, has given up 204 goals on the year. They are just 12. They were just 5-12-7 at home. 4-3-3 though in their last 10 for the San Jose Sharks. So if we look at the odds there, Pittsburgh total goals is something I would look at here. Over 3.5 is a straight minus 110. Over 2.5 for the Sharks is minus 152. Remember, Tristan Jarry is out for the Penguins, so no Jarry. And the goalies listed are Dell and Casey DeSmith. All right, DeSmith is the Penguins' other goalie. So let's see here. Penguins, the only other thing I would look at is, San Jose can't score at times. They just have over games. I feel like this is an over game. Over 6.5 is a lot. Yeah, San Jose total goals again. Let me look at that. Over 2.5 minus 152. That's something I may have to take a look at here. I don't know if I trust San Jose on a 60-minute line, though. But they are paying plus 210 if you think the Sharks can win this in regulation. If you like the Penguins in regulation, just a minus 104. So a good slate of hockey. Let me go ahead and get you Nephew Dave's picks. And then I'll give you a couple official plays I think we can go with. If we look at Nephew Dave's plays, he likes the Islanders and the Devils on the puck line, the Jets on the 60-minute line. He does like the Pens and Sharks over, and he does love the Devils tonight on the puck line, and he said he can move that on the alternate puck line. So Nephew Dave's picks are the Islanders and Devils puck line, the Jets on the 60-minute line, Penguins, Sharks over, and the Devils puck line can be moved to minus 2.5. I think it can be too. Let me go ahead and look at that myself. On the alternate line for the Devils, minus 1.5 is plus 112. If you want the Devils at a minus 2.5, you get paid plus 210. 60-minute win margin. Again, for the Devils to win by 3 is plus 195. So actually, on the minus 2.5, you get a better price than what you would pick on the 60-minute win margin. Know that those can always be different. The book will try to save a little bit of, in essence, they're the same bet, minus 1.5, minus 2.5, or win by 3 or more. It's essentially the same bet. You got to win by 3, and one is juiced different than the other by 15 cents on the difference. So pay attention to those. A lot of times there are the same bet written 2 different ways with 2 different prices, and that's a good lesson to be aware to take the better line in that regard. Okay, so those are Dave's picks. Let me get back to the main menu, and I will give you my picks, and we'll get out of here on this Valentine's Day, Tuesday. Let's see here. I like I do like the Devils. I like them, I think, on the over goals for New Jersey. So New Jersey total goals is over 3.5 at minus 112. I think that they can get there. I'm going to take a chance with Florida team goals over as well. And I think you can take a chance on St. Louis, but Florida's over 3.5 at plus 108. St. Louis is over 3.5 at plus 130. I think either of those are live. Dave likes Winnipeg on the 60-minute line. I'm going to be looking at taking Seattle over 2.5 at minus 136. The Bruins and the Stars, I think you could take either one of those at over 2.5 goals tonight scored. I think you get a nice, fun game there in Big D. Tampa Bay, I think you can take a look at them on their total team goals as well. Tampa Bay, 60-minute goals over 2.5 is minus 158. And with no Yari and Pittsburgh in town here, I think I would look at maybe taking San Jose goals at over 2.5 at minus 152. All right, so I think we got some plays there. We'll have 2 more episodes of What the Puck on Wednesday and Thursday. We hope that you have a good rest of your Valentine's Day, and we'll be back I'll be back with you tomorrow night, as I have the rugby show tomorrow night as well, Initiate the Contact. But I'll be back with more What the Puck is going on tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Your look at the hockey schedule and everything on the wagering slate. All right, everyone, good luck with your tickets.